Week 15 in the NFL here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Dave Golokhov, senior sports columnist for AskMen.com. It's Monday, and Dave is going on vacation to Hawaii, so we're getting his picks now. And one game you like, Dave, is the Colts plus 9.5 at Houston. Now, I admit I bet this one fairly big on the opening line as well. I'm a little bit nervous about it because you're fading an elite NFL team in Houston, but I bet it anyway. That's obviously a pick that you like. Tell me why I should feel comfortable with it.
I just think there's a stigma with the Colts that there's still somewhat of that team from last year, or that this is somewhat of a fraud. Maybe not as good as their 9-4 record indicates, but I think it's time to put a lot of those things to bed. You know, when they're going to play the Texans this weekend, they're actually going to have a shot at first place in the AFC South, which is a little bit mind-boggling when you think about where we rank the Texans in the NFL and where we rank the Colts, supposedly significantly lower. But the Colts played the Texans twice in the last 3 weeks, and obviously they need a lot of help, but it is entirely possible that the Colts win this division. Who really would have thought that they would have had a shot? The Colts have played really well. They're red hot right now. They've won 3 straight, something like 5 of their last 6. They just keep finding ways to win. I know they're not as good on the road as they are at home, but they just need to cover 9.5 points. You have the Houston Texans, who are coming off a big Monday Night Football game, where it was a real barometer test for them. They're going to put a lot of energy into that game. It's hard to see them getting up for this game as much. On top of that, it's the Texans' first home game in 4 weeks. They've played 3 straight on the road and 4 of their last 5 on the road. Sometimes, usually in other sports we talk about this, but sometimes road teams go on road trips for a while, come home and are a little bit flat-footed in that first game back at home. I just think it's really good value with the Colts, who, in my opinion, are not that far off from the Texans as far as the NFL ranks go.
So you don't think that they've overachieved a little bit, that this is the line where they come down there? They've gotten a lot of close wins. They've got a great record right now. They don't really need a win here. And now they're going on the road against an elite team, probably a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, and I think the Colts are going to use that as a motivation, because everybody keeps saying the same things that you do. I know they barely beat the Titans at home last week, but listen, they went to Detroit, got it out a tough win. This is a team that's confident. I think one of the most underrated, intangibles in the NFL is confidence. We constantly look at teams like the Arizona Cardinals and question them. When they started at the beginning of the year, I think it was 4-0. Every week we're talking about handicappers who are betting against them, saying they're going to fall flat on their face. And yes, they eventually did. But they did win their first 4 games. The Minnesota Vikings, the same thing. People want to bet against this. But when teams are confident, they play well, the ball bounces their way, things go well. That's what's happening for the Colts right now. They're very confident coming into this game. It's a measuring stick for them. The Texans, their fate is pretty much secure already. They know they're a Super Bowl contender. I think the Colts really come out and play with some real vigor in this game. And, I think they cover the 9.5. I think it's a big spread, considering they're only a couple games back in the standings than the Texans.
All right. I hope you're right. Like I said, I did bet this on opening, and I think I'm going to ride with it. Colts plus the points. Thanks. Great preview, Dave.